Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to restructure this. So please start with the horizontally formatted item, which is today's agenda. First off, you all are supposed to have completed DBQ packets. I'm going to walk around. You're going to hand me what you've got. Make sure your name is on them. Go staple. Go staple. I usually like to staple, to staple it in front of, yeah. Yep, thank you. You got a stapler. Very impressive. Not everyone is so well prepared. Okay. Okay. Staple it to the front of the packet that I gave you, please. You have yours, Sam? Cool. You got a staple. Okay. What? Thank you. Okay. Good. Who else is ready? Paper. Yes. I want your. Look, I want your name or I want your blood thumbprint. One or the other. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Okay, do you need to staple it?
Yes.
Let's go over there. Staple? Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Sam. Okay, please take out the paper that I showed you here, which has the various rubrics for the various kinds of essays that the AP uses to assess them. You're going to be using this rubric for the ones that you're correcting. So, between now and next Wednesday's meeting, you are going to be given someone else's work. Please put your name on the top in a circle. Thank you. Put your name right now when I give it to you is on the top in a circle, CB, and then your name. 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 Is it? Do I not have somebody's?
Yes.
Whose don't I have? You. Q. Okay. There you go. Okay. I got yours? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who has Sebastian's? Okay, good. I thought I had lost it for some reason. Okay. Go. There you go. Okay. So you all now have somebody else's packet. Your job is to find what's wrong with them. Your job is not to just tell them the good. So use the format that is given for the rubrics to assess them as if you were AP graders. But also, what I would do is assemble the good, the bad, and the ugly. Whenever I do a senior project essay or correct anything closely, which is about the only thing I correct closely these days are senior project essays, I always tell the person at the end what the good was, what I liked, what I thought was effective, what I thought they'd done well. I think you should do that. I then tell the bad, and without pulling punches, but also without being mean, I say what deficiencies I found, what was wrong, what wasn't good enough. And then the ugly is things that are neither good nor bad, but they don't necessarily make obvious sense. Why did you choose this rather than that? Why didn't you give an example of bias here? The more you say, the better the person will have be, because you will have given them feedback. Now, I can tell you, based on my experience, some of you will have really done a bang-up job, and you will have produced really good quality essays. Some of you may very well have just done a schlocky job and just gotten it done at the last minute. If you're correcting somebody and it's obvious that they've done a really wonderful job, tell them that. And if it's obvious that they did a really lousy job, tell them that. You don't have to be a jerk about it. It's just, it's obvious whether something has had thought put into it or not. In the real situation, you will have 15 minutes of thought to put into your DBQ. That's more than nothing, and it usually shows. You are helping each other out by doing this. Are there any questions about how you do the DBQ or how you're going to do any of this correcting? If there are, come see me. If you don't understand something that somebody is saying, go to them and say, look, either I can't read your handwriting here, or I read the handwriting quite well, I just don't understand what your paragraph is saying. You can do that, but it's really your job to use your separate independent judgment to reflect back the good, the bad, and the ugly of what you say. You can also closely correct, and that is to offer things. Just use a different color pen. So you all have somebody else's work. You've all put your name on it, CB, and circled that on the upper part. If you haven't done that, please do that now. Are there any questions about what it is you should be doing with this? The reason that you are doing this is this, I think, is the best way for you to get better at writing these essays. Okay? Most writing I've asked from you. I want you to really do a good job of grading each other's work. So I would say devote at least an hour, maybe more, to this, to do it right. And again, some of you, I have no doubt you'll do it well, some of you won't. Seeing no further questions, we're going to be fundamentally restructuring what we're doing. Why? Well, the fundamental difference between this year and years past is that some of you are in Mr. Burfine's class and some of you are in mine. When every one of my AP students was in my class, I could reward and punish with grades. Reward students who did extra work, punish with lousy grades students who said they were AP but really didn't put the work in. Mr. Burfine doesn't want to do that. I respect him. It's his first year here, and he has a right to have grades that have integrity from this point of view. So we can't do that. As a consequence, what I've observed over the last few months has frustrated the living hell out of me. Some of you are incredibly hard workers. Some of you are not. Some of you are come here, and we have 20 minutes a week, which is not enough time. Some of you come with a great positive attitude. Some of you come like you're doing me a favor. This won't work. I've tried to make it work. I've tried to fill the empty space with my personality. It's not going to work. I want you all to succeed. So this is how we're going to shift things. First off, I have posted on the classroom, and I've given you a new syllabus. So let's take a look at the new syllabus. Just look it over while I hand back corrected work. Solid work, Andy. Very good work. Veronica? Olivia? Okay. Look over the comments I made. They're not voluminous. You will note that of the chapter surveys that I did, I've only given back to these guys. Now, I may very well, because I don't remember much before exams, because it's busy, it's entirely possible that you did your chapter survey work and I turned it back to you, but I don't remember it. So if I did turn it back to you, hopefully I gave you some comments if you're not sure.
Due to the fact that we actually discussed like the grading procedure and like the importance of like not kind of balancing like work ethics and stuff, I did not have the appropriate time to finish my AP seminar thing, so I did not turn that in.
Okay.
And
I'm not going to give a grade. So, Mira, I think you're normally an excellent student. That's an unusual situation. Just understand, it's not ideal, but I get it. I understand why. And the truth is, It's immoral for me to expect you to do huge amounts of work when you're getting no credit for it. I believe that. The word immoral is not one I use very often. So I'm shifting the workload entirely. On your syllabus, you will see that you have a new set of requirements. I still have one more set of chapter survey addendums, which I'd like you to do. But like everything else, if you've got the time and you've got the inclination, do it. I'll look it over and I'll try to give you useful feedback. If you choose not to do it, you choose not to do it. You don't get the benefit of doing those chapter surveys. And those chapter surveys are due when? Look at the syllabus and tell me.
Wednesday, the 23rd.
Wednesday, February 23rd. So over a month from now, or almost a month from now. The other thing is that all weekly meetings, except next week, are optional. Show up if you feel like it, don't show up if you don't. What I've done is I've given you 2 sets of European history videos on the end of World War I up to the present. I recommend the first set from the year 2019, 2020 when COVID first hit, because my videos are an average of about 10 minutes to 15 minutes in length. It's much easier to absorb a 10 to 15 minute lesson than a 50-minute lesson on video. If you really want the long format, I have an alternative form of videos from last year where I have the 50-minute videos. What you won't have in my class or in Mr. Berfine's class is a good working knowledge of the 20th century and the 21st century by the time you take the exam. You may get into it, but you won't have gotten as far as you need to. So the majority of what I'm going to ask you to do between now and May is watch these videos. Each week, there's a set of videos that you can come in and talk about with me, if you want to, or talk about any other problems that you're having. So next week, we're going to debrief and talk to each other about the work that you've done and corrected. Then there's a week off because I have lunch duty. After that, aside from just showing up and giving me the chapter surveys, and we'll talk, other than that, show up if you want to talk about the videos, if you want to talk about the lessons, if there are things I say that don't make any sense, you come in here and you ask me questions about the videos and the material, and I will help you. If you do this on the schedule that I gave you for the syllabus, you will have a good working knowledge of 20th century history, regardless of where your courses get before the exam. This is an essential. But I understand you're busy people. So if you are too busy and you don't think you need to learn about the rise of Nazism any more than I've taught you in the lessons, don't show up. If you think that it would be useful to come talk about it or ask questions or get more detail, come talk about it. You are welcome after next week to show up if and as you want. Next week, I would appreciate you all being here. Then we're going to have a week off. Then after that, it's voluntary meetings as per the syllabus. After that, you take the exam, and then there'll be another voluntary meeting where we debrief and I buy you pizza. And we talk about what worked and what didn't work this year, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm used to getting stern criticism as well as occasional bits of praise. That's how I'm planning to do this. It focuses on the 20th century. I've already shown you the test. I've already shown you the various things on the test, how you should approach the test. This is now about giving you the knowledge that you won't have if you don't look at these videos. So are there any questions about that? Any questions about how we're going to go forward? Next week, the week after, we're not meeting, and the following is show up if you want, and we'll talk about the stuff on the videos. If you don't want, you're on your own. That is another thing that I'm doing. I like keeping a degree of control when I'm tutoring people. This is what I'm doing. This is a tutorial seminar. But 20 minutes a week is not enough the way we've been doing. Not when I can't give you grades. So show up when you want. If you want to show up every week, I'll try to make it worthwhile. Just come up with good questions, and I'll try to give you good answers. Are there any questions about how we're going to go forward? Any thoughts of any kind? Okay, if you have them and you want to talk to me about them, you know where I am. Come talk to me. If you want to email me, whatever. I want this to work. I want you to succeed. To my mind, this is the best way to do that given the circumstances we have this year. If there are no questions, we're done. Look over your stuff. Thank you, and I'll see you next week when we debrief about the materials that you use. Good luck.